Hey, what's up everybody? Jesse here, just sitting out in my shop this evening. Figured I'd shoot a quick video for y'all. And actually the reason for this video is I posted on my YouTube community thing recently, trying to think of more ideas for videos, and maybe I'll do a Q&A video, which is what this is pretty much. And if there's any questions y'all have, just throw them at me and I'll just answer them in a video. And I got some great ideas for some videos. I'll definitely work on those moving forward. Sorry if you hear some noise in the background. We do have some baby chicks over here. I did get a couple questions though, and I just wanted to go ahead and address them. I'll go for the easy one first. John asked me what I did for a living before I went full-time guide / YouTube. Well, first of all, John, I'm not full-time guide / YouTube. I'm far from it, actually. I'm still doing my other work, which was contracting. I'm building contractor. It's basically, I grew up around it. My whole family was involved in the industry in the different trades. And I got to spend time with all of them growing up and working with them. And that's pretty much how I learned how to be mechanically inclined, and basically how I learned how to do so many different things, as I was always around it growing up and always had an interest in it myself. I pretty much been in construction on and off my whole life. I did have a break in my mid-20s to mid-30s and worked in the power sports industry, motorcycles, jet skis, stuff like that. I worked at a couple different dealerships as a technician, service manager. I worked at a Harley dealership for about 5 years as a parts manager, inventory control manager. I actually made my way all the way up to general manager of that particular store. And it was a pretty good gig. Unfortunately, when the economy crashed in 2008, I think it was, that whole industry shut down and the dealership I was at actually folded. So it booted me right back into construction work again, because thankfully, even though everything else was struggling, renovation and repair work took off because people stopped building homes and they started fixing what they had and improving what they had instead. I got involved with a local big chain box store as an installer for them. And that's pretty much what I did for the next 12 years or so, all the way up to about 2 years ago. I did smaller jobs like decking and fencing jobs, kitchen renovations, cabinets. My bread and butter was doors and windows, and that's a lot of still what I do today. I prefer smaller jobs myself, kind of turn and burn is what I call them. Get in a few days, get out, make you money. I do have a contractor's license in North Carolina as a building contractor. Honestly, I never really used it because my personality doesn't really fit that type of thing. I like small, quick stuff, in and out. Like I said, the idea of being involved in a project for 6 months to a year is just not very interesting to me, which unfortunately isn't a great thing because I'm not really taking advantage of the licensing that I have. I really do wish YouTube and the chartering thing was a full-time living right now, but YouTube definitely is far from it. I'm just not at the subscriber view base that I need to be for that to do it, to be able to help support really. I mean, it's a nice little chunk of money coming in each month, but not near what y'all probably think. And the charter business is good. It is good when I can get out on the water. It's like, for instance, right now, I'm 0 for 4 trips in the past 2 weeks because of wind, and the conditions are so tough on you sometimes trying to get out and make a living at that full time, and people's schedules are very limited, of course, as well. Only being able to come out on weekends in most cases. So it's a little bit tough, doing the charter thing and all this, and they were definitely not a full-time thing. So basically that's what I did through all the years was, work on stuff, build things, repair things, and it's still what I'm doing now when I'm not out on the water filming or doing fishing charters. So there you go, John. That's what I did and still am doing to this day, and probably will be doing the rest of my life, to be honest with you. All right, let me see another question here, just a straight up question. Brian asked me what I have learned since I started guiding about fishing, taking on customers, and how has it changed my love of fishing in a positive or negative way. Well, what have I learned about fishing is it's tough to make a living at it. I've learned a lot about how the currents can be so unique depending on each wind condition. Last summer and fall, I was out 5 days a week in some cases, and getting to see it change from day to day, see the patterns of the fish, more closely evolve through the season. See how crazy the tides can get is another interesting thing with just a shift in the winds. For instance, I've been out there and seen the tide literally running parallel with the bridge, the Chesapeake Bay Bridge, which is crazy considering it should be flowing across it, you would think, all the time. But I've definitely seen it to where it's not doing that, and trying to figure out what is driving that unique current and understanding it's been a really great learning experience for me. As far as the people, they've been awesome. I have had some of the best clients that I could ask for. Seriously, y'all have been great, everybody that's come out with me. It's awesome, and I know a lot of these clients they say they feel like they know me from doing this, which is great because there's like an instant companionship there between me and the people that I take out. So it's a really nice feeling to have that almost friendship feeling, right from the get-go, and also to be able to take them out and give them an experience that I've been sharing myself online for so many years, and now to be able to actually share that with people and see the joy that they have, and in some cases for them to realize it's actually real. I had a few clients say that they wondered if it was even real because it seemed crazy, but yeah, it was just awesome to get out and share this experience with people and see their pure joy and happiness of catching, these massive sheepshead and drum and stuff like that are available in the Chesapeake Bay. I've also learned that it's can be very tiring, honestly. It's some long days, especially when I have back-to-back trips. I'm usually leaving home, and I trailer my boat back and forth just to be more, have more options available depending on what the conditions are doing, being able to launch out of different locations if necessary. But I'm usually leaving home at the latest at 5 a.m. I'm up at 4, get everything ready. I'm out on the road at 5. I'm usually at the ramp around 6:15. That gives me time to get the boat in the water, get everything ready, retied, rigged. That way when people show up, they can hop in, we all shake hands, and we head out and we get right to fishing. And then I bring them back in midday. I have a small break for lunch, and then I'm going right back out with a second crew again, hopefully, if conditions allow. And that puts me coming back in probably around 5 o'clock, 4:30, 5 o'clock. And then you got to say your goodbyes and everything. And then I got an hour drive back home. I'm usually getting home around about 7 with traffic, and that gives me about 2 hours with the family to eat some food, relax, and I got to go to bed because I got to get up at 4 a.m. again the next day. So it's some long days. But to be honest with you, I don't really look at it as work because I'm fishing. It's crazy. Even though I'm getting paid for it, it's not work to me. It does wear me out. I did have some trips last year where I had been out 5, even 6 days consecutive, back-to-back trips each day, to where I was considering sleeping at the boat ramp in my van because I was so tired. And pushing through that next day and trying to keep my energy level up and be pleasurable. Thankfully, I'm not a grumpy person when I'm tired, but just making sure I was giving them a genuine experience and not rubbing somebody the wrong way because I was literally exhausted. So that's something I've learned. And honestly, if I have a lot of trips like that this year, I'll probably end up sleeping at the boat ramp because I will get more sleep and rest that way. His other question was, has it affected my love for the sport? Not at all. No, not at all. Honestly, I could still go out and fish 5 days a week and be completely fine with it. I absolutely love it. I love that I'm out so much and I'm able, like I said earlier, to be able to see the season evolve and the fish move and what they're doing and where they're going and what they're biting. It's really cool to be able to do that because before I was lucky to get out once a week, if that. And now to be able to get out and see the whole season just evolve like that, it's amazing. It really is. It definitely hasn't affected my feeling of the sport in a negative way at all. If anything, it's made me just love it more. It makes me want to push harder to fully realize this dream of mine and be able to do this full time. However, I have to do that. I don't know. I'm still working on that. I'm trying to figure out every means of bringing in revenue from it to where it can support my family and still be responsible to my family and support us full time, but I'm not there yet. So anyway, a couple questions for you. I know I kind of stretched that out, but I said I was going to be thorough. I am going to start working on some of the other video ideas moving forward from here, and I've got some still pretty good fishing footage I'm going to be putting out in the next day or two as well. So that's what's up. That's my first Q&A video. If you have any more questions, just hit me up. I'll just keep these rolling, try to keep as much content coming out as I can. And peace out. I'll see you guys out on the water soon.